I'm excited. Ready when you are, brother. Looking forward to
All
this.
right, man. So, Cody, I appreciate you being on here, dude. Huge thanks for the HQ day and stuff. Learned a lot from that. Very humble guy. It's honestly surprising. Not knocking your character, but
Yeah.
like we talked about at dinner, you see a lot of people with big companies, a lot of money. They're kind of standoffish, and yeah, you were super open. Didn't really have any like secrets you were trying to hide, nothing. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool to just enjoy the day with you guys and your team. Um,
Thanks, bro.
so can you kind of just introduce yourself for maybe people in Symmetry or whoever's watching that doesn't know who you are? Because I didn't
Yes.
know who you were until this year. So
Yeah, man. Absolutely, buddy. So I've been in the business since I was 19. I'm 31 now, so getting close to 12 years. And my dad's been in the business 32 years. When I was an intern, I saw other people making money, right? And when I saw other people making money, it made me believe, okay, I can do that too. I don't know why, but naturally, I've always thought, man, if somebody else can do it, I can too, right? And you're the same way, which I love.
yeah, why can't I?
Um, yeah. So then at 20, I decided to become a full-time insurance agent. I was in college playing basketball, taking like 21 credit hours a semester. And then I was cold door knocking to sell life insurance. So could have used the excuse I don't have any time. I also um, didn't use leads at all. And I went out and cold door knocked. I made $117,000 at a lot lower comp level than you're on, cold door knocking to sell life insurance, and just fell in love. I sold for years. And then the end of 2015, so almost 6 years ago, I started a personal brand to help other insurance agents. I've been YouTubing ever since. We just reached 52,000 subscribers. We started a conference and got a couple other companies, and now, dude, just living the dream and having fun every day.
That's awesome, man. So how long did it take you to kind of get it to click in insurance? Like it seems like a lot of new people, obviously that's why a lot of them fail, but it's just like it
Yeah.
doesn't click. That bell just doesn't go off in their head. How long did it take you just to get in a rhythm of things? Because it was pretty quick for me.
Yeah, I would say within my first couple months, like I understand things pretty well. I think a lot of people try to come in and like reinvent the wheel or totally create their own success, right? I mean, if Mason's doing it one way, dude, I don't want to do it his way because he's highly successful. I got to do it my way, right? Well, dude, what I would be doing is I'd be studying you. You're like, okay, dude, whatever he does, I don't care when he wakes up, when he eats, when he sleeps, when he takes a piss. I don't care what he does, dude. I'm doing what he does. Okay. And that's what I've always done. Everything we've ever done, whether it's the conference, building a team, having multiple sales teams, companies, investing in real estate, etc. I've always done it and thought, okay, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Let's go out and duplicate success. So let's find someone that's done what I wanted to do and is doing it well, and then study them and then do what
Yeah,
they do.
still with pride.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
if someone's
Yeah.
doing something that's working, take it. It's not like you're cutting into their money. There's more
Yes.
people out in the world than I can help on my own pen. So take
Exactly.
it
Yes.
all.
Yes. That's what's cool about it, buddy, is there's so much success available in our industry. It's wild. 92% of insurance agents fail, but there's more millionaires in this industry than any other industry in the world. So there's a ton of opportunity. But for those that will actually put in the work and go and see people and treat this thing like a full-time career, there's something special here, man. I don't get any better than this, you know?
No, absolutely not. That's just like you're just getting in front of people at the end of the day.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. I mean,
It's really, it just ends up being a numbers game.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I heard recently multiple people, you talked about this too. Dude, if you're not seeing, I mean, close to 30 people a week, you're part-time, you know? And I think there's a lot of people in this industry that are part-time and they say they're trying, they're doing it, but they're like, dude, I dialed all day, but they dialed like 84 times. Well, it doesn't take more than an hour and a half, 2 hours to dial 80 people. So there's no way, instead of dial, like my buddy John says, you really didn't dial all day. You just took all day to dial.
It's funny. I think in our stuff, it's like 350 dials minimum for even part-time people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can get good metrics out of that. But what is your business kind of like now compared to obviously when you were 20 and running and gunning in the field? What have you built your business and your brand into? Because it's impressive.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. We've got a conference with 1,000 people. That's for anybody in the industry. I say 1,000. That was last year. We're going to scale it to 2,500 this next year. We're doing a 10 city roadshow. Between all of our companies, we got about 100 staff and multiple buildings. My wife and I also, so we have a personal brand. My father has an insurance agency that I help with. This company's doing a lot of events. We have the conference. We have a marketing company with 50 staff over there and a business partner. I own the real climate controlled self-storage real estate behind me, the storage facility. My wife's buying 9 acres with a go-kart track and a putt-putt course and batting cages next Wednesday on the 20th. And so, dude, it's just grown, man. And what I really learned along the way is there's a lot of successful people out there that they have a tendency to do it all. Like there's a lot of 6-figure earners that never get to 7 because they think they got to do it all. They don't have an assistant. They don't believe in people. They're a control freak. And what I really learned is people that do something big in the world, they do it with other people, right? Like they realize to do something. I had a gentleman that had $160 million company one time. And he told me, he said, Cody, dude, you are doing everything. And he said, why? I said, dude, because I'm the best at all of it. He's like, there's your problem. He said, number one, you got an ego. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. Okay. But number two, he said, you will never do anything big in the world on your own. He said, you need people. And so I believed him. And now we have tons of people and we're always trying to scale our team. And so that's what's cool about building all this out is I get to come in and do what I love, which is promote, do stuff like this, promote our brands, promote to the industry, and really connect with really cool people, power players like yourself.
And see, that's my favorite thing is you're not biased towards any IMO. You're not married to anything.
No.
Like in general, you just like helping people, and that's something I
Yes.
really respect.
Yeah.
It's just pure intentions at the end of the day, and
Correct.
just that's just
Dude,
not common in this world anymore.
no, I mean, I always call myself like the Switzerland of insurance. I'm friends with a lot of IMOs. I've got a lot of symmetry people that I'm really close with, right? The Nates, the Marlins, there's just a lot of individuals there that I know. A Jeremy Whitaker, right? Like there's a lot of people I really like in there.
Yeah.
The Mason Van Meters of the world, right? So there's some really cool people that. That's why I'm a fan of symmetry and what y'all do because y'all put a lot of emphasis on personal development, self improvement, and building. And you think about it, like there's not a lot of, I mean, think about the amount of people in insurance making 7 figures. How many of them built and recruited? Literally all of them. Or they took 20 years to build up a small agency with 4 staff, right? Like, which I don't want to do. Okay. So I can tell you, you want to earn 7 figures, you want to do something huge in insurance, dude, you gotta build, right? You got to recruit, you got to build sales teams, you got to help other people win and find success. And Symmetry does that really well.
We've definitely got a good system here, and then that goes right back into imitate before you innovate. Don't reinvent the wheel here. We have a turnkey
Yeah.
process, and I won't knock anybody else. I just love what we have here at Symmetry. That's why I chose this as a long-term home. It is cool to see the involvement with you and like Marlon Faulkner and the Smith brothers, whatever. It's always cool to watch those old videos. And
Yes.
so what is exactly 8% Nation for anyone who hasn't heard of that? Because I really love that, what you're doing with that.
Thanks, buddy. So 8% comes from the fact that 92% fail, so only 8% succeed in their first 3 years. And so we've built a brand and a conference to help agents. I mean, I remember being at a conference of 9,000 people sitting front row in Vegas, and we didn't have anything like that in our industry. That's for anybody, any carrier, any product. And by the way, people bring their teams, and none of them get recruited because it's almost like I get all these people from these different IMOs and they come together and then they form relationships and they don't recruit each other's people. Like it's almost like the opposite. Like if you don't get involved, the people there don't know you. So they're less likely to not recruit your people, right? They're almost more likely to recruit them. So that's what happens where it's really kind of cool. We're building this almost like this brotherhood in the industry where people are coming together, sisterhood, whatever, right? In the industry where people are helping, they're lifting each other up. They're helping people get to another level. There's a lot of motivation, mindset, specific training for the industry. And people leave there thinking bigger than they ever thought because they got in the room with really high level people in the industry. And it's my goal to unite and connect the whole industry. And it's not been easy. And it's not going to continue to be easy, but it's been fun. And to see the transformations of some of the people involved has been really, really cool.
Now, the association factor in this industry is, I think, by far what contributes to most of the exposure and success in it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And what You said that 92% of insurance agents fail. Why is that?
I think the number one reason is they just don't get in front of enough people. Because you think about it, you could say, well, they failed because they didn't make any money. Okay, well, why didn't they make any money? Because they didn't make any sales. Well, they didn't make any sales. What? Why? Because well, I could blame the training. Well, really, if you get in front of enough people, it all goes back to prospecting. Like you as an insurance agent, you're either spending your time prospecting or selling. That's it. And so the number one reason people fail is they just don't get in front of enough people. Like if you book enough appointments, I don't care how bad you are, you'll make six figures. End of story, right?
Yeah,
So really,
you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. It's simply a
that's right.
numbers game. Someone will buy.
Yes, yes,
You
yeah.
have
I mean,
people
yeah.
with,
I mean, what is it? Nate says like literally, you go see 10 people, and you could send a note on a dog to 10 of them, and three of them will come back with a policy. Which is hilarious.
absolutely. Yeah, Nate's funny, man. Nate
Dude's
is a
wild.
funny guy.
Yeah, he has a big heart too. Yeah, he's hilarious. I like that. I like that guy, man. He's a good dude.
And when you talk about prospecting and recruiting and stuff, well, what do you see as like the best method or recruiting practices? Like what when it comes to recruiting for you, if you were building your own insurance agency right now again from scratch, what would be most important to you as kind of recruiting practices or
Yeah,
ads here?
totally. I think one of the best things you can do is putting out content like you are, to where yes, you can be reaching out and grabbing people and bringing them into your team, or you can bring value to an industry and actually attract people. Like, how many new insurance agents reach out to us on a daily basis because they're thinking about getting into insurance because they saw our videos.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
They know
When
your
you
name, so you have that over them.
Yes, yes. So then they're attracted to what we're doing. Also, too, I love building teams to help me with stuff. Right. I like utilizing teams. I like doing stuff in a group format, whether it's webinars or group interviews, right, or speaking engagements, or and I like people. I like becoming a magnet to where people are coming to me versus me going to people. Right. And so I love those philosophies and strategies, and we use that in everything we do.
Absolutely. And let's see here. What you've obviously dipped into multiple different income streams when it comes to real estate, 8% events, HQ days, whatever. Like how
Yeah.
did you from scratch pretty much build from the ground up into all these other revenue producing alleyways?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I was just filling out a personal financial statement and a huge loan application to send to because we're behind the scenes buying some stuff, right? And I sent that, and I sent my wife, and I was like, man, it's crazy to see like cash on hand and what we own and the different companies. Like, you start filling out a financial statement, you start seeing all this stuff. I'm like, we're nowhere near where we need to be. In the grand scheme of things, we're still broke. But really, look at what we can say we have. Look at the size of our net worth. Like, look at where we came. And that's a really cool feeling. But really, um, this has been doing all this is the toughest thing. Is the toughest thing I've ever done, because I didn't know about building a brand. I didn't know about throwing a conference. I didn't know about running a marketing company. I didn't know about running an event company. I didn't know about any. I didn't know about YouTube. I didn't know about any of this. But what I've learned really is the people that will persist long enough, they will find success at some point, right? A lot of people stop 3 feet from gold. Well, I can tell you, those that push and keep pushing and don't stop pushing, no matter what anybody else says, no matter how bad their day gets, no matter if somebody slams the door in their face, who flipping cares? Like, if they just keep pushing like you do, they will find massive, massive, massive amounts of success. And they'll wake up, realize, like I do some days, they're like, man, how grateful am I? Look at what I've been fortunate enough to build. I've had a lot of luck along the way, but I'm just outworked a lot of people, and realized, and also admitted every single day, I don't know it all. And I've been willing to get in the right rooms and pay for access and go to events and hire coaches and mentors and do this other stuff. It's the amount that I've gotten back from the amount of invested in me. It's not even close.
You can't put a price tag on that stuff. Just like my day I spent with you, I think you have to pay. Once you have skin in the game, it becomes a lot more important to you.
Yes.
Once you have, I spent $5,000 for this. Like it, I better pay attention, take notes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. So true. So true.
And as far as like new agents are concerned, obviously your goal is to help people become profitable in the insurance industry and help them out. What do you see as like the most successful agents doing? What do you see that's similar or comparable in
Hmm.
most of them?
Most of them, your audience is not going to like the answer, but I don't care. Most of them, most of them are simply investing more in leads than the others. So here's what I mean. A lot of new agents get in the business. They're like, dude, I'm broke. I don't have any money, but I can start and I'll place one lead order. If it goes well, I'll place another one. Well, you're not any good yet. The first lead order is probably going to suck. And it'd be kind of weird if it didn't, right? So, and if it didn't suck, I would think, well, they just got lucky because they're not any good, right? So really what the people that are doing well, what they're doing is they are investing more in leads. I mean, I hear it all the time. I'm starting to hear it a lot to where if people aren't investing 500 to $1,000 a week in leads, they're pretty much like part-time. They're not even trying, right? So I see that a lot. I would say, dude, you want to guarantee that you get in front of a lot of people, buy more leads than you can keep up with, and then actually work and watch what happens. It may take a few weeks, may take a few months, but I'm telling you, it will become a flipping snowball that you cannot slow down.
It becomes addictive. That's the
Yeah.
same thing that happened to me. I first lead order. Everyone sucks when you first start. You're not just naturally good at insurance. You
No.
don't know how to fill out an application, whatever. But I'm like first few months in, ended up putting 10, 20, 30, just watching my bank account grow, more money than I've ever seen in my life. And now it's just something I can pee away on spending a day with you or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I earned that. So
Correct.
it's definitely cool. But outside of leads, do you see like any do they read certain types of books? Do they have certain practices they do, routines?
Yeah. I mean, the more successful agents are also have like a morning routine to where they're really getting their mind right. Right. I'm big in like morning routines and goals. So, I mean, a morning routine's big. I get up 5:30, 5:45 a.m. Get a good workout in for energy. I put some good stuff in my brain from a learning standpoint, which is really important. I finish every shower with a couple minutes of ice cold water and do a cold shower, and then I write down my goals every single
Yeah, most
morning.
people ain't gonna take a cold shower, I'll tell you
No,
that.
no, but I can tell you if they'll work out and write down their goals, because a lot of people don't have a target. Like a lot of people in the industry, they're brand new, they get in the business and they don't have a target of what they want to achieve their first year. They're just like, I hope I don't totally bomb. Well, how about like going at this thing from a positive confidence standpoint? So really, what do you want to accomplish and how can you get there? So a lot of times, like for example, I made 117,000. Well, that's because I went into a recruiting meeting and the manager said, there's 10 of you in the room, 9 of you, all of you stand up. He said, okay, now 9 of you sit down. He left one person standing. He said, maybe one of you will make it. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, well, dude, if there's going to be a one, I'm going to be the one. And so I
Yeah,
actually
why
wrote down
can't
in
it be
that
me?
moment. Yeah. I wrote down that moment. I said, I will earn $100,000 my first year in the industry at 20. And I wrote it down and signed it. And I hung it up to the wall in my cubicle. And then I wrote it down and saw it every day. That shows me that someone's more committed than just, I hope I make it.
Yeah, throwing crap at a wall, seeing what sticks.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
what do you think the best book for like agents to read is? Do you think like E Myth or Go for No? Like, do you have a certain book or certain books you would
Well,
recommend for people?
yeah, I have personally have a book called 0 to 6 Figures, which is phenomenal for someone wanting to do that for new agents, especially. I would highly
It's
recommend it.
a it's a good
Yeah,
read, man.
boom, there we go. Thank you, buddy. I would also say that the first book I read from a sales standpoint was The Art of Closing the Sale by Brian Tracy. And I studied and listened to that book literally all, dude, you got them all, bro. This dude's committed, man. I love Mason. I listened to that book every day on audio, every single day, no matter where I went, I had it on. I learned so many sales nuggets from that book.
The
It's
close
crazy.
is on it. I heard it from you. That's the only reason I went and picked up that book. Then I had to break it out in the office. That was funny.
Yeah, dude, that's right. That was awesome. Yeah. So what Mason's talking about is when he was here for our office for our HQ day, where you spend a day here, I put him on the spot and had him respond to the no callback, with a no callback close. Like, hey, I want to think about it. I need you to call me back. Dude, freaking busted out like he had practiced it, like he had rehearsed it, and like he had used it, and he has. So he was prepared and ready. Most people, if I put him in that position, they wouldn't know what to do. But dude, you were ready and you performed probably better than I would have in that moment. By the way, it was really impressive.
I think being under pressure is the best thing in the world.
Yes.
I like doing that stuff. And as far as mentality is concerned, what kind of advice do you have people maybe feeling like burnout or that I've been doing this for 6 months, Cody, like is this ever going to end?
Yes.
Like how far does mentality or just mental toughness go in this industry?
Yeah. I mean, Tim Grover says pressure is a privilege. Back to the pressure thing, right? The number one thing you have to do is no matter what happens today, commit to showing up tomorrow. You do that and you will find success at some point in your life, because most people, stuff happens and like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm thinking about quitting. I mean, we get so many people on our YouTube channel that comment and they're like, dude, I thought about quitting, but then I saw your stuff and it inspired me. Because motivation is cool, it's temporary, but inspiration tends to last, right? So you need some inspiration in your life. And so you got to
Yeah,
be,
it's drive or essence. That's what I like calling it, essence.
I like that. That's good. Yeah. It's so important. You need that. Like most people, they struggle with that. They really do.
Well, that ends up being the difference in a lot of people making it or not.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so,
it's crazy.
what do you think the most important outside of like leads? What do you think the most important thing someone new can focus on in this business? You're coming in as a new agent. What should be your primary focus?
I would really outside if I couldn't choose anything related to prospecting, then I would focus on feeding your brain with positive new information that you didn't know but that you need to know to grow. And so like you picking up the sales stuff and rehearsing it and applying it, a lot of people hear stuff, very few people actually practice it, and those that practice it a lot of times don't even use it. Well, what's the three layers of this? Well, you want to learn it, you want to practice it, and then you want to apply it, right? So a lot of people don't even learn, but those that learn, they never practice, and those that practice, they never apply. Well, once you can start down that path and actually start using stuff and seeing results, implementing things and seeing a positive result in your life, then you start to gain a lot of confidence.
That's something that it kills me. Like it makes me want to laugh, but it's not even really that funny. Like people will pay all this money,
Yes.
go to a conference, get all psyched up, man, and then they hear that gold nugget, and the next day they do nothing with it. A week later they quit, and then
Yes.
you just paid all this money for an event to change your life, and now you're doing nothing with it. You're
Correct.
worse off than you were before.
Correct. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, we get one life, you know? How are we going to live it? Like, this is it. We don't get another
And
one.
like that's why I like someone like Marlon Faulkner's story is so important to hear.
Crazy.
Well, what if this really is your second shot at life? You can get your
Yes.
family back, like your life back.
Yes. It's crazy. How many views his interview, I was fixing to look real quick, how many views his interview got on my channel. I mean, that dude drops some absolute fire. Like his story is so powerful. I think it's got like 30 or 40,000 views now. It's like how to go from homeless to 100K a month.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Anytime he comes on anybody's calls, there's usually tears involved. He just knows
Yeah.
how to pull your emotional heartstrings. He's such an awesome guy, though, at the end of the day.
Yes.
Great story.
True. So true.
And so, as far as like when it comes to building an agency, let's talk about that.
Okay.
I loved your morning like routine. Can you kind of go through that for me? What you do?
Yeah. So this is
Or
really
not
about,
your with the sales meetings and all that stuff. Like how
gotcha.
you
Good.
brought us in, you had them tell two things or so.
Yeah. So a lot of consistency and intentionality behind kicking off our morning inside of our company. So the stuff I talked about earlier was more personal. That's what I do before I get to the office. Then when we get to the office, we do an 8:30 company meeting, company wide. We have everybody, about 60 of us, and we're all in a big company meeting. We're sharing wins for the day. We're sharing a positive message to start our day. We're playing music. We're getting everybody excited. After that, from 8:35 to 8:50, I'm training and speaking to our two sales teams, which I love. And then after that, I'm going to an 8:50 secure agent marketing directors meeting. So all the leaders in that company are meeting for 10 minutes every morning. And then at 9:11, I come and do a 911 CA operations meeting where the operations people share what they're working on. their timelines and what they want to accomplish. And really the first hour of my day is spent motivating, enthusing, and really focusing our entire companies and teams. And it's valuable. And then at 1:30, because all the salespeople take lunch from 12:30 to 1:30. And then 1:30, we also do a afternoon sales training as well, because it's, you can't forget, most people, salespeople are typically always undertrained. Now, they can blame themselves for that, which they should do. But I also take full responsibility and accept responsibility. And then I start forcing the sales training twice a day, every day.
And so does that consist of like mainly role play or just?
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's sales training, whether it be from me or our CA sales system video library. And then after some sales training, we'll role play something specific. And so normally role play that one thing for the whole week. So if it's, hey, I need to get better at the objections, I want to think about it. Well, we would role play that every day for a whole week. So then by the end of the week, dude, it's second nature, right? And then after role playing, we'll do some energy, jumping jacks, push-ups, run around the building, something to really enthuse and wake up. Because a lot of salespeople, man, the people in their 20s, especially, like they're showing up at my office 8:30 and look like they're half asleep. I'm like, dude, I'm fixing that before you get on the phones, because I'm just accepting responsibility.
Your first phone call shouldn't be practice. Like talking with clients should not be practice. You could turn away a $500,000 annuity just because you're too tired.
Correct. You're exactly right. So good.
And how big is that like role play when it comes to helping your new agents like close business? Because it's really just understanding how people work. But how important is role play? Because I've implemented it every day now.
It's so important. It's the reason it's so important is it's easy to get rusty. Like it takes hours, days, sometimes the next day, like right, to get rusty and to really need to rehearse a little bit. So we are role playing so that we can stay sharp, so that no matter what the customer throws at us, we're ready. No matter what the customer throws at us, we're prepared. No matter what the customer throws at us, we've already handled that before. So it's totally like second nature, right? So I never want our salespeople to be put in a position where they don't know what to do. I want them to already know what they're going to do no matter what. Also, when someone throws them a curveball, I want them to know how to respond. So we practice curveballs. So the customer's like, dude, you're saying it's $1,000. Cody said it was $500. What are they going to say? They may say, oh, well, I'm sorry. Or, dude, good point, man. Does it matter if it's 1,000 or 500 if it helps? So like they got to be prepared for those type of situations.
Yeah, it's not adding value to it. What would you say the most important part of the insurance sale is? Like obviously most people you might get in front of somebody, but if you suck, it ends up being a numbers game. Like what's the most important part for just closing a sale?
Yeah, I believe it's, I really believe I really believe you need to believe that the customer's going to do it more than they believe that they won't. You've heard me say that a bunch. And I say that because you need to be certain that this is what's going to happen today. Right. And so if I build enough value in what I'm offering and have a good enough relationship, and I expect that they do it, the moment you don't expect that they're going to do it, they feel that. Like customers feel your emotions and your passion.
Yeah. My belief level's higher than yours.
Yes. You fix that problem, you'll make a lot of sales that you didn't think you would make. There's been so many sales over the years that I've made in insurance that I never thought I would make. But because I at least gave it a freaking prayer and a Hail Mary, I still got it.
Yeah. What is it? Babe Ruth had the most home runs, but also the most strikeouts.
Correct.
Like how many times can you get up to bat and take the swing?
Exactly.
That's definitely my favorite part of this is seeing what let me see if I can close this.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. It's crazy what you can do, man. It's awesome.
And so just before we close this out, what do you feel like if you had to give one nugget, the secret advice everyone is looking for, the special sauce, what would it be for new agents kind of looking to join this, or should I go in 100%? Should I not?
I can tell you that you found the right opportunity. You found the right vehicle. There is not a better option on the planet. Also, everyone can become a millionaire in the insurance industry. It's just what I love about insurance is it separates the strong from the weak, and not this, because I would probably be in trouble, but this, right? Mentally tough versus mentally weak. How you talk to yourself matters. You need to stop saying dumb, negative stuff to yourself. You need to feed yourself with confidence and belief, and you need to go out and win. You need to expect that you win. And then you need to go out and say, dude, no matter what, I'm committed. No matter what, I'm going to continue. No matter what, I'm going to show up. And I promise you, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it will get better every year. And you will look back and say, holy freak, I almost quit. What if I would have? And I'm so glad I didn't.
Absolutely. You got to shut the noise out. What other people say don't matter. Well, there you have it, guys. Cody Askins.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Okay.
Hey,
Love what you're doing.
man. I appreciate you being on here.
Boom.